Right, hello mate, it's Kela Kela here, and we represent humanbeatbox.com. I'm down to give you an interview today.
Yeah, can't wait, man.
What's today all about then?
Today is like, it's Skins Day. It's like they do this TV show on T4 called Skins, and basically they do like illegal parties based off of MySpace, one thing and another. They're doing launches across the UK. There's one in London and there's one in Bristol that we're doing. This one being the first one in Bristol. And yeah, it's going to be wicked. Just warming up, man. Just got out of the van. It's live. It's going to be wicked. And the venue looks great as well. It looks great already. Yeah, it's going to be wicked.
Awesome. Right. You've obviously been beatboxing for a very long time. How do you constantly push yourself to improve?
How do I push and to better myself? I think push to be better. I don't know. It's like quite a determined person. Do you know what I mean? Generally, quite self-motivated. So I guess if when it comes to like the sounds and stuff, I think that's more what it is. It's just like doing it live and stuff, like being able to translate it live and have the shows to back up to do it. That's what kind of motivates me to come up with new sounds and new styles. And it always was the case, when I first started beatboxing, because I was like 17 or 18, and it was like, wow, I'd get into clubs, illegally at a young age, and I'm just like, yo. So I get it. If I do this, then I get into the club for free. I get drink. I get X, Y, and Z that comes with that. I've got to find a way of staying on stage a little bit longer. Do you know what I mean? So and that's always been like a kind of motivation. But then as the crowds have got bigger and the countries have got different and the language barriers have, come in and stuff, that's been the biggest motivation. That people that come and see the shows.
What advice would you give to up and coming beatboxers?
To up and coming beatboxers, my biggest advice, has always been and always will be just try and come up with a style that's all of your own. I find it a bit incestuous actually sometimes, because when you hear other beatboxers, it's fine that they have like inspiration. I think it's great. It's nothing but good things, and more importantly, a compliment when someone, copies a style or a sound and stuff. That's all well and good. But I do find it a tad incestuous when I think about the things that inspired me, and I grew up in beatbox listening to, and it wasn't beatboxers. Do you know what I mean? Because you're imitating something, but then when other beatboxers nowadays are like imitating each other, and that's kind of like, that's a bit weird, because where's the influences come from, and where do you draw the line on that influence? So I don't know, when asked for advice, it's always come up with your own style, whether it's different styles of music you listen to, whether it's different kinds of vocals you listen to, whether it's, I don't know, going on holiday and finding yourself. Do you know what I mean? It's like just come up with a whole new batch of influences and a style that's all your own. Think about what your mouth is. What your mouth does, because it's totally different from mine, and each one's all different, and we all have different things. And so there's plenty of stuff out there that beatbox wise that not even I do. Do you know what I mean? It's not. I don't know. There's people's styles that I wouldn't want to copy, and then there's people's styles that I just couldn't if I tried. And that's just the deal. That's the beauty of instruments, you know what I mean?
Okay, we saw on your website, kelakela.com, that you have reviewed the new Shure KSM9 microphone. What advice would you give to the more experienced beatboxer regarding equipment recording?
What advice could I give outside of the microphone recording? It's weird, because the new album, I just started this new album, and it was like we were kind of road testing ideas, because as of yet I still didn't, even from my personal experience of making albums and stuff, what I do know is, it's hard to try and define what makes a beatbox sound on an album. So we were kind of like testing different equipment and stuff. Nothing was more fulfilling and more sound, recognisably a beatbox sound. There's nothing more than having the biggest speakers with a microphone in front of it, and me grabbing a KSM9 and just banging it out from a PA system, being recorded straight into a separate microphone, another KSM9, and it going straight to the mixing board. You know, it defines the sound, and it's like taking an acoustic guitar into the world of electric, I think. You know what I mean? You're putting it out there, and people recognise it as being, not necessarily, is that from the mouth, is that from the human mouth? It doesn't matter, because if they've heard it in a live show, they remember the bass, they remember the impact, they remember the distortion, all those things you can get out of that. And as far as the KSM9 goes, that's nothing but a good helping hand in that kind of direction. If I was to recommend any equipment, it's just, especially recording wise, it's just go with the raw organic. You know what I mean? And the other thing would be like traditional kind of processes anyway. You know, like compressors and equalizers and things like that. But you don't need to go too far away from the live show. It needs to feel real. Do you know what I mean? It needs to feel like, it needs to feel as human as possible, and it needs to sound as naturally sounding as people would expect it. It works for different things, right? It works for different people, different things. Like I said, it's a style again, and my preference now is that, you know. Like throughout all the, you know, 2 or 3 albums and few mixtapes I've done, it's like each time it's just been like almost trying to not only get your head around what style fits you, but also trying to help people play catch up a little bit and try and redefine, maybe not necessarily my albums, but every time you record, you want to kind of redefine what beatboxing should sound on a record, because there's no rules, and that's what's great about it. There's no rules, so try whatever you want, Yasson. You know what I mean? Try whatever you want to do.
Experimentation.
Yeah. Every day, all day.